What's up, nerds? We're your hosts. I'm Chad.
I'm Jake. This week we are sponsored by Crybaby Craig's Hot Sauce.
This week we're also sponsored by Ray's Energy Drinks.
We are going to be talking about What If, episode 3? It is 3. Yeah, episode 3.
Which was awesome. This week we're also going to be talking about Titans, episode 5, as well as we will get into the much anticipated Spider-Man No Way Home trailer.
Yeah. So let's get into it. This is the All Things Nerd podcast.
Nerd. Yeah. Welcome back, nerds. The All Things Nerd podcast. Your weekly dive into all things nerd. So Jake, how was your week?
It was good. I mean, no, it wasn't good.
I mean,
you know that.
Yeah.
I can lie to our listeners, but you know that this week has been a
authenticity,
rough week.
bro. God.
This week has been tough. Not in a bad way. It's just been a long,
yeah, and you were just
week.
like super busy with work.
Yeah. The good news is I did get. You can go on our YouTube and check out my tattoo. I got my tattoo finished, and it's pretty sexy.
So good.
Yeah. So shout out to the Rose of it's just Rose of No Man's Land tattoo in Woodbury, Minnesota. You guys kick ass, especially Chris, who did my tattoo.
Yeah, it looks great, guys. If you don't want to go to YouTube, check out Jake on Instagram. It's there. It's pretty great. It's pretty awesome.
How about you?
Well,
your week.
The week it kind of dragged on for me too. I don't really know why. I do know why. It's because I got home Monday from Minnesota, and then usually I have Wednesday.
Was that this week?
That was this week. Yeah, that's how long this week has been.
Holy shit!
And then
it has been a long week.
I usually have Wednesdays and Thursdays off, but I worked Wednesday, so I didn't have to take as much PTO, and so this week just kind of like seemed off.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way. I mean, like you said, it was just busy on different levels.
My mind is blown. It does not feel like it was this week.
I know.
Holy shit.
But also this week we did finally get the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer.
Yeah. We also get we don't get but we are expecting a baby. The Shang-Chi
Congratulate us.
The movie comes out.
Jake's going to carry it.
Next weekend.
Yes, Shang-Chi does come out on Friday the 3rd.
My brain just went from like here to here, and I have no idea.
Yeah,
what happened.
We also had our fantasy football draft, which, I'm not thrilled about it, but that's what the waiver wire is for, so that's cool. But yeah, Jake, let's not waste any more time. Let's just, introduce sponsor number 1 and get into the meat. The
sponsor number 1
non-meat meat.
Sponsor number 1 is Crybaby Craig's Hot Sauce. It's a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes on practically anything. Listen up and we'll tell you a little more about it.
Hey, you nerds. Do you love spice? Supporting small businesses? What about enhancing the flavor of your favorite foods? If you said yes to any of those, our good friends over at Crybaby Craig's have the perfect solution for you. Crybaby Craig's is a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes perfectly with your favorite foods, adding the perfect amount of spice and enhancing the flavor of everything it touches. Started in Minneapolis by Craig back in 2012, Crybaby Craig's has become a Minneapolis and Minnesota staple in the sauce world. So head over to crybabycraigs.com and order yours today.
All right, guys. So we are going to jump into the episode 3 of What If. This episode they're getting better. They're getting better. The first episode was kind of meh. Second episode was pretty funny and cool. And this episode we get to see basically the Avengers are being murdered.
Yeah, basically
Before,
they're all wearing red T-shirts
yeah,
the entire time.
yeah.
It's a Star Trek joke if you guys don't get it.
I was like explaining a reference.
It's a Star Trek reference. You know, the red shirts are always the first to die.
Uh,
And, you know, they
yeah,
just get
so
murked.
before any of the Avengers get a chance to assemble, they start getting murdered.
Yeah.
Yeah, starting with Tony Stark.
Starting with Iron Man.
He gets
Basically, yeah, sorry, go for it.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, so it's from the scene from Iron Man 2 when Natasha Romanoff injects him in the neck with that like antitoxin agent, basically to stop the poison spreading from his old chest piece before he does it. If you haven't seen Iron Man 2, this is going way over your head and you shouldn't be listening anyways. Spoiler alerts.
Yeah.
And
you're in the wrong place.
Yes. Yes. But basically she does that and then Tony just like dies.
Yeah.
And so Natasha gets like arrested for killing Tony, even though she didn't do it.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. And then we have a few things we want to cover this week, so I want to fly through this a little bit, but not too much. But yeah, there's a lot to unpack in the Spider-Man trailer. So we have this and Teen Titans, and then Spider-Man trailer. So anyways. So then we also see Hawkeye. When Thor in the Thor movie, when Thor goes to lift the hammer in the rain, that point where Jeremy Renner's character is like, "Call it now," or it's not going to happen, and he shoots him, and he dies
with an arrow.
Thor dies
straight through the heart, and Hawkeye's like, "I never slip, I never miss. Like I did not shoot that arrow." But it's like it was clearly like an arrow
like you
sticking
could
out.
See it, like and
so now you're starting to wonder like what's going on.
Yeah.
2 of these dudes have died, and then it goes back to Hulk from the Incredible Hulk.
Before Hulk, Hawkeye in prison.
Oh, I thought that was in between. Yeah, Hawkeye just kind of like is like in a cell. No one's in there with him. He's just kind of sitting there like sulking, talking to himself like I don't slip, I don't miss. And he's just like sitting there being sad. And then Nick Fury goes in there to like talk to him, and he's just dead. He just like died.
He like goes to like touch him on the shoulder, and he just like falls over, and he's dead. And and then now you can do that one.
Then it goes back to Hulk from the Incredible Hulk with Ed Norton, but they put an animated Mark Ruffalo in it instead. We have disagreements on that regularly. How we haven't just like accepted that we disagree and moved past it is beyond me, but we don't. But it's basically the college campus scene with the Hulk versus Thaddeus Ross. General Ross. His name is Thaddeus. It's a dumb name.
Keep going.
But basically, Hulk, like, I don't know, Hulk's out. Natasha's trying to, like, rescue him because she's trying to prove that the Avengers...
Eat that cucumber.
Yeah. Hide the zucchini.
Get it, because it's green.
And it's a direct reference from Age of
Ultron. Ready? Oh, it doesn't fit. Oh, there it goes.
Sorry,
it's got
Mom.
force it a little bit, yeah.
Well, usually the ball shouldn't go in unless you're into that.
What do you mean? They don't?
Public school sex ed 101. Don't insert the balls.
God.
Anyways, sorry, Mom. But so Hulk's out. He's fighting off the army on this college campus, and then he like gets super beefcakey. Like he starts to look like the dudes that skip leg day, but like juice anyways.
Yeah.
And then he just explodes.
Yeah.
So he dead too.
Yeah. And then Nat basically starts she's sitting on a computer in the dark, whatever. And she figures it out. And as she's figuring it out, she hears somebody coming up behind her, and she's like, "You won't win." Blah blah blah. And then they win, and
then she fights something invisible.
Yeah.
And then just
Yeah.
dies.
But what she says to in a message to Fury is hope. It's all about hope. And Fury eventually puts it together. And for those of you who hopefully watch this, hopefully. Anyways, Hope is the name of Hope Van Dyne. Hope Van Dyne.
Hank Pym's daughter.
Yeah, who plays the Wasp, opposite of Paul Rudd in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
And Hank Pym is behind it all.
Yeah.
But also, kind of like in the middle of the episode, Loki and all of Asgard come to
Midgard.
Midgard,
as they call it. Yeah.
Yeah, which is Earth. Come to defend Thor's death. And so that's all there. We also get, is it Clark Gregg that makes the Lord of the Rings reference?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
First off, Clark Gregg is in this episode. I love Clark Gregg. He's hilarious.
Did you just... Clark Gregg?
No, I went, not... It's different.
Mm-hmm.
It's different. Like, if I went, it'd be like, I want him to be my daddy. But if I went, it's because I respect him. And for a man like that, he's attractive and a great actor. And I want him to be my daddy. Just kidding. Anyways, that side railed fast because of you.
I had nothing to do with that.
I started to defend myself.
That was
and then
all you.
Anyways,
I just let you
Clark
talk.
Gregg is great. He's the best part of a lot of some Marvel stuff. Anyways, but he makes a joke about Loki's army looking like they're from... Because Nick Fury's like, are they from Earth? And he's like, maybe Middle Earth. And just like, Lord of the Rings references. Like, it's great. Fast forward now. Nick Fury and Loki, and you can't get over my...
I'm not over it. Yeah, you just outed yourself.
My fanboying over Clark Gregg. You know what? That's fine. That's fine. He's awesome. Clark Gregg, if you see this ever, it's out of respect.
Anyways,
he won't.
Hank Pym, Michael Douglas, the original Ant-Man before Paul Rudd, is behind all of this because his daughter died. He's pissed. And then they kind of do a recap and they show you what really happened with the murders of the Avengers. When Natasha sticks Tony in the neck with the shot, he's in the shot and he goes inside Tony's body, kills him. Does the same thing with Hawkeye. When Hawkeye is aiming at Thor, he goes
and pushes his fingers apart, so
it releases the arrow. With Hulk, if you remember in the first Ant-Man movie,
and
there's
Civil
that
War.
The thing that makes Ant-Man go super giant or whatever. Hank goes inside of Hulk's body when the Hulk gets shot in the shoulder, and throws it at Hulk's heart, and that's what makes him explode. Natasha, he just beat the shit out of her because she's not a superhero. We won't get into it.
Probably the same with Hawkeye. I think in Hawkeye
but...
he crawls in his ear or something like that.
Yeah, because they show him fly out of his ear.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh.
Sorry.
But basically, then Loki uses his magic to trick Hank Pym into thinking that he's Nick Fury.
Yeah.
Fights him aggressively, can punch him out of the sky, can dodge him, even though when I was first watching I was like, how is Nick Fury doing this? He's just a dude. And they even say when you're shrunken down to that size, it's like a bullet. And Loki's just like, bitch.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Just smacking him out of the air. It was pretty funny.
Yeah. And then even Hank Pym's like, wow, for someone your age, you're pretty spry. And then it turns out to be Loki. And then Loki's like, I think I'm going to stick around for a while. And Nick Fury's like, for how long? And then it shows like Loki addressing the UN and being like, I'm the new leader.
Yeah. Well, he says like the same line that he says in the first Avengers movie. He's like, you guys are born to be subjugated. Is it not
easier to kneel?
Yeah, whatever that line is.
Born with glorious purpose.
And then it shows Fury. All the Avengers are dead. The OG Avengers, most of them anyway. Tony, Nat, Hawkeye, Thor. But then it shows Fury digging up Cap's body. Well, they just show the shield, and he wipes off like the ice around it. And then as he's doing that, Captain Marvel shows up behind him, and she's like, "Where's the fight?" Yeah. So, yeah. So that was episode.
She like fixes her gloves aggressively because
I
guess that's what she does.
Yeah.
Instead of being cool.
Anyways, that was episode 3, and so
it was really enjoyable though. Like
it was good. They're getting better.
We rushed
they are
through
getting
it,
better.
and we kind of like shit on some of the parts, and I got on a tangent about
That's just
my man crush
what
for
we
Clark Wright.
do. That's just what we do. Even my girlfriend knows it. Even when I watch a movie that I genuinely enjoy, even if I'm like, damn, that was good, Nicole will literally turn to me and be like, go ahead. And I'm like, go ahead, what? And she's like, what didn't you like about it? And I'm like, okay, here we go. So, yeah, exactly. So.
But yeah, I mean, if you guys haven't watched any of the series yet, go watch it. It's really enjoyable. Just muscle through the first episode, because the first episode is the least
it's like a setup. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the one that diverts the least from the original story.
Yeah.
Everything else has been really entertaining, been really great, on par with the comedy, but also just really interesting. So with that being said, that is What If Episode 3. Before we get into Titans, we should talk about our sponsor number 2, which is Raise Energy Drinks, which is by Rep Sports. They have fantastic energy drink, 0 sugar, 0 calories, 0 crash. But they also have a lot of other products, such as like pre-workout proteins, as well as these new protein desserts that are keto-friendly, if you're into that sort of thing. And they're delicious. So listen up, and you'll learn how to save 15% on your order. What's up, nerds? I wanted to take a minute and talk to you about Raise Energy, an incredible energy drink that provides max energy with 0 crash. Raise Energy takes a giant leap of faith with instilling a high-quality formula to bring a powerful, yet sustained, energetic experience to help you push your workouts and focus to the next level. Perfect for anyone at any time, and powered by their Refresh formula technology, Raise Energy delivers a performance-enhancing energy drink that aids in multiple different categories that include targeted focus, better recovery time, improved clean energy levels, and a boost in stamina and hydration. But most importantly, every can of Raise Energy has absolutely 0 calories, 0 sugar, and 0 carbohydrates to give you a smarter and healthier option. So don't settle for an energy drink that contains more sugar and carbohydrates than you can count. Instead, head over to repsports.com. That's REPPSPORTS.com and use the promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout for 15% off your order. Or if you don't know what you want, go ahead and click the link that's in the description to get a $50 sample pack for free. All you do is you cover the cost of shipping. Again, make sure you use promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout to let them know that we sent you. All right, so this week we also really want to talk about Titans, Episode 5.
I don't know if we
really want to. Yeah, that's a stretch, but it came out. We're going to talk about it. basically this is just Jason Todd's emo phase.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen this yet, I mean, go watch it. It's still good. It's just this episode was a filler episode in my opinion. Basically, it just goes further in depth over everything that we've already learned.
Yeah.
And
we already know everything that happened in this episode, and it was just like cool.
Yeah, it just puts some like behind the scenes aspects to it. One thing that was kind of cool though was that it actually shows that Scarecrow is behind everything instead of just kind of working with Jason. He's the one manipulating him.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's about it.
All
right, moving on.
Well,
no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. All right, good episode, guys. Well, they do show that there's an anti-fear like toxin that they come up with, which is why Jason's
a bit crazy. Also, that's like his little like huffing mask that we saw like earlier in the season. That's really, I mean, it explains that. It does explain how he came back because he was dead. If you guys have read the comics or have seen like the stories, you know, like Death in the Family, things like that, you know that Jason Todd comes back to life from the dead because of the Lazarus Pit. They made the Lazarus Pit the lamest piece of shit. It's like the worst schwitz that you can ever get.
Yeah.
Basically, Scarecrow had some leftover Lazarus Pit water, and he added it to a hot tub in the bathroom at Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
And then dumped a dead body in it, and it came back to life. Which totally ruins, like, the Lazarus Pit. It totally eliminates Ra's al Ghul, except for the fact that they say his name, like, twice.
Yeah.
It's just...
Do
you have anything that you want to add about this?
Nope. I really didn't care for this episode. Go watch it. Whatever.
I mean, it adds to the story, but, like, it's not necessary.
Yeah.
You know, it over-explains things that we've already seen. The only thing that it helped for the storyline was that it clarified that Scarecrow is actually behind everything instead of...
Which they could have done in, like, a cutaway scene in, like, another episode. Yeah, it was dumb. This one was dumb.
They didn't need to devote an entire episode to this. I love this show, though.
Yeah, the show is fucking fantastic.
We're not trying to shit on the show. It's just that this episode kind of, like, sucked. It wasn't great. Let's put it that way.
But
it wasn't great.
I told Chad when we started this that I wanted to spend very little time on this episode because but also because I'm super stoked.
What did we finally get?
We got the fucking Spider-Man 3 trailer finally, which came out after we fucking did our last podcast. So
yeah,
we're just like, God damn it, now everybody's seen it. But we're gonna try to break down some shit in the trailer for you that maybe you guys didn't pick up on and shit like that.
Or if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's a minute and a half long.
Yeah.
Just pause, go watch it, and then come back and listen.
So we're gonna break down the Spider-Man preview for you guys. We have some facts and some Easter eggs that maybe you guys didn't notice, and also because we're both nerds, we have a ton of theories that we want to also put on here. So let's start with facts, shit that we know. We know that Green Goblin is returning.
We know that Goblin is returning. We know for sure that Doc Ock is returning.
We also know that Jamie... Oh, we should say it like this. We know for sure that Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin from the Sam Raimi, Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans is returning.
It might be a different version, but it's the same actor in the same role.
Yeah.
Same for all of these, for the most part.
Yeah.
Same with
Doc
Alfred
Ock.
Molina as Doc Ock. Same as Jamie Foxx as Electro, only he's not blue this time. Thank God.
Yeah.
That was
I didn't
like,
mind the blue, honestly.
I just didn't like that it was so. It just wasn't comic accurate. I didn't mind his portrayal as Max Dillon. I just thought that the blue, like, if they're gonna hint at the green and yellow, like on a birthday cake, like, let him have yellow lightning and electric powers. Like, it's not that hard. That's it. That was my qualm. But he's gonna have yellow electric powers.
Yeah.
We're pretty sure that it's gonna be Sandman.
We also see Sandman in the trailer. We don't know for sure if Hayden Christian Church is playing him. Do we? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
But he's in the trailer.
I don't know if it's confirmed that he is. Not saying I don't think he is, but
there's also a very subtle and short clip of something attack.
Blink if you miss it, and you'll miss it. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off, but it's the lizard.
I'll kill you.
That's fine.
I'll kill you.
That's fine.
You introduced like 3 people. I just want to introduce the one guy.
Sorry.
I hate you.
Keep going.
God, no, you're at. All right, let me keep going. It's the lizard.
I'm so sorry.
Did I do it?
I just meant to say, like, it's a blink and you'll miss a thing, and then you got...
that nutsack hanging from your microphone, put that whole thing in your mouth and just shut the fuck up.
I can't.
That's a lie.
Oh, fuck you.
We also see that Doctor Strange and Spider-Man are fighting in the preview. There's parts where they're not getting along. It looks like Peter has stolen something from Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is after Peter. It looks pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm going to let you keep going. I've fucking ruined so much of this.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Talk.
We also get to see Doctor Strange has some unique wardrobe choices.
He doesn't seem like himself.
He does not, but he wears a cape with sweatpants, and that's like...
And he's wearing the cape over like a winter jacket, which is also...
because the Sanctum Swarm is like...
Yeah, I know, but
frozen
still,
over, but like... Yeah. We also watched him stop like a waterfall to like let people keep killing each other in Endgame. So like... He can't just, like, bring in a summer breeze. He also starts a fire by flicking his hand. Like, why is the place snowed over?
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird.
We're going to get to that, but...
We will get to that. Yeah.
For those of you that are comic nerds, a lot of this entire trailer looks like it's pointing towards the Spider-Man One More Day storyline. For those of you that don't know what that is, what happens, Jock?
That's actually very close. I took French in high school, one semester, and my name in French is Jacques.
Yeah.
Jacques.
Jacque.
Yeah.
Yes.
But anyways, so I just have to add this because since we're talking about it. My buddy Mike, took the class with me, and his name is Michael, and in French it's Michel, which is adorable. But anyways,
oh, that's so cute.
Anyways, in the last day version of Spider-Man, basically what happens is Aunt May gets shot, and then Spider-Man, aka Peter Parker, goes to Mephisto. I know, I said it your way. And goes to Mephisto and asks him to reverse it and help him. And Mephisto, who grants wishes, agrees. And we have a theory about this, and we'll get into it in a minute. But yeah.
But also, so the reason why Aunt May is shot and killed is it's because of the Civil War storyline where Peter reveals his secret identity as Peter Parker.
That's right.
Being Spider-Man, which is kind of what happened, only it wasn't his choice.
Yeah.
So it's kind of building up to it. In that same storyline, he goes to Doctor Strange first, who won't do the spell to undo it because of the ramifications over space and time. So Peter gets desperate and goes to Mephisto.
But then fists Peter
Yeah,
and
toe to toe,
yeah.
Mephisto,
Yeah.
who
Sorry.
blesses the rains down in Africa,
But
Mephisto.
yeah.
But there's so much of that because, as you mentioned, Jake, that Doctor Strange is kind of acting a little weird. He doesn't really have much of a concern for the ramifications. He's like, yeah, I'll do that, whatever.
Yeah.
We saved half the universe together. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have to call me sir. He's like, okay, Steven. He's like, that's weird, but
I'll
whatever.
allow it.
I'll
Yeah.
allow it. But we also get to see Wong, warning Doctor Strange, like, don't do that spell. And he's like, okay, I won't. And then he, like, looks at Peter and, like, winks.
Yeah.
But there's so much to this also, like, with, like, Doc Ock. Also, when we see him, it's clearly on a battle on a bridge, because we also see Green Goblin's, like, pumpkin bomb on that same bridge, because you can tell by the paving.
Bridge.
And the bridge, yeah. The bridge matches the bridge, which hints at the bridge. You're so right, Jake. Thank you. That was so intuitive of you. Fuck. I'm just kidding. You've been a dick to me all night. I had to.
You're just mad because I called you out for interrupting me.
Yeah. That and only that had nothing to do with Clark Gregg. I love him.
Anyways.
No, but when you see, like, Doc Ock's arms, like, the eyes in the center of it are glowing red, which, if you go back to Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2, anytime that Doc Ock was not in control over the arms, the eyes are glowing red instead of white. So it clearly shows that it's still during his, like, psyche split where he's not fully in control. But also, like, he says, hello, Peter. But, like, why would he recognize Tom Holland's Peter Parker?
As Peter Parker.
Not in suit yet.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hinting that we are going to see Tobey Maguire at the very least. But, I mean, if Electro is going to be in it and the Lizard, like, if we
we'll
don't
get Garfield too. Arguably the best Spider-Man movies out there, in my opinion.
Easily the best standalone Spider-Man films. I do love Tom Holland as Peter Parker.
I do too. Don't get me wrong.
And his Peter Parker, like, age-wise, especially, like, age ratio to his aunt, makes sense, which is helpful.
Yeah.
And just in the greater scheme of things, like, yeah, his standalone films aren't the best in the MCU, but they still drive the story forward. So, like, Tom Holland overall is my favorite Spider-Man and Peter Parker, but standalone Spider-Man films, hands down, goes to Andrew Garfield. And that's including the nostalgia factor of how much I love the Tobey Maguire films.
Yeah.
Minus Spider-Man 3 for the most part.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so we're pretty sure that we're going to get both Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire in this movie. And if, I mean, we got to say it.
And Mephisto.
Potentially, hopefully, they've been building it up. They've been hinting at it since fucking WandaVision. But.
And it's almost a direct, like, I mean, it is a direct story, like, inspiration from the One More Day that focuses heavily on Mephisto.
We also know that I think that where you were saying that different versions of these characters played by the same actor, we know that there are variants now because of the Loki series.
Yeah.
So maybe they're different variants of the same villain.
Yeah, and which also brings to the fact that off camera over the past couple of days, as we've been talking about this, you've talked about, like, why you think Doctor Strange and Peter are fighting because of these characters. Go into that.
I don't honestly remember what I told you.
About how once if they were to piece the
Oh, oh,
multiverse
oh,
back
oh,
together.
oh, oh! I
Yeah.
remember. I remember.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. My brain doesn't work so good.
El-
Uh,
alcohols.
Basically, I thought so. Peter, uh, doesn't want any of these people to die, and all these people, whether Doc Ock, Green Goblin, all of them in their original timelines were
Except for Sandman,
defeated.
but besides the
Yeah,
point.
were defeated by Peter and or killed somehow. And now that they're brought through, because in the preview for this movie, when they show Doctor Strange do the spell, they show the Bifrost, like the Rainbow
Yeah.
Bridge, like, and then so
Bifrost,
they,
also like how Doctor Strange like traversed like in
yeah,
that super trippy scene in Doctor
yeah,
Strange 1.
yeah,
Basically just like going through the multiverse.
yeah.
Setting up
So
a Spider-Verse
I
basically.
think that they came through and they're gonna realize like, and Peter's gonna realize like, hey, I got to send these guys back, but then by sending these guys back, I'm gonna be killing them essentially, and he's not gonna want to do that, and him and Strange are gonna have a disagreement about it. Hence, Peter running from Strange in the preview and fighting each other.
Yeah.
Because Peter is not a killer. That's why the only reason in the comics that Peter is not able to lift Mjolnir is because he's unwilling to kill anybody.
Yeah.
And in Norseman mythology or whatever, Thor, blah, blah,
Norse
blah,
mythology,
is
what it
that
was.
you have to be able to kill people for the better good.
Yeah.
And Peter refuses to do it. So I'm thinking that's what it's going to be, something like that. Like, I don't want to have that on my conscience. If I send them back to where they were, they're going to die. I don't want to do that. But then also, it's going to set up the fact that the bad guys are going to be like, well, hey, man, if we go back to where we're supposed to be, we're all dead. We can't let this little fucking 15-year-old kid do that to us.
He's
Let's
like
team up and
17, 18 by now.
I know,
He's like
shut the fuck
18
up.
by now.
But like, let's not like let him do that to us. Let's team up and fucking whip his ass. And that's what I'm thinking is going to happen here. And then the
So
other
what kind
Spider-Man.
of six do we get from that? What kind of
We get
six?
five. We get five confirmed, and we're missing a Tom Hardy. We're a Tom Hardy short of six for this.
Or a Michael Keaton, because Vulture is
Yeah.
a part of the Sinister Six.
Yeah, that would be good too. I think it would be a baller fucking move of Sony and Disney to throw fucking Venom in there. I doubt we're gonna get it this early on. It's gonna be way later.
They haven't
So
come
yeah,
to that agreement yet, so I
Yeah.
highly doubt it.
yeah.
But
But-
Michael Keaton's fair game, so we might get a Vulture. He might not suit up in it. He
We
might
also
be
know
the,
that
the dude that's
Keaton
like,
is-
nah.
We also know that Keaton is Vulture in Morbius. They show him. So
Oh, I did not think about this, but in the end credit scene of Homecoming, when Michael Keaton's in prison,
Scorpion.
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 We could also get Scorpion
Yeah.
because we have not heard anything about him in several films.
Also, thinking about it, now that Peter has outed himself as, or not himself, has been outed as Spider-Man, we also, the girl from the first Spider-Man Homecoming, Liz, who's Michael Keaton's daughter, will
Adrian Toomes,
now
Michael
know
Keaton,
that.
yes.
Yeah, now she'll know that Tom Holland is the one who sent her dad to prison. So I wonder if they'll do anything with that. There's so much there's so much to unpack, and
so much
Yeah.
going on. Also, in the trailer, the teaser trailer, we see a lawyer while
oh yeah,
while Peter is like clearly in police custody.
he's handcuffed to the table.
But he's like
handcuffed to the table. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did. I just wasn't gonna point it out because you were so generous to me last week when my voice was cracking. He's like reading through like case files and stuff like that, and then a guy in, you just see like rolled up white dress sleeves, skinny black tie, slamming papers on the table, but Peter doesn't look like alarmed that the guy's there. Just he like jumps because of the sound.
Mm.
We do know that Charlie Cox is going to be in this film. It's been confirmed.
Who's Charlie Cox?
Charlie Cox played Matt Murdock / Daredevil in the Netflix series. He's been confirmed that he will be in this. Well, as confirmed as you can get without like IMDb.
Yeah.
So we are the rumor is that Matt Murdock is gonna be his lawyer because he can, through his extrasensory perception, can tell that Peter's telling the truth.
Lying.
He's not guilty. He did not kill Mysterio at the end of Far From Home, so he's trying to prove the innocence. The theory is that we're just going to get Matt Murdock. We're not going to get Daredevil in this film, but we're just going to get to see Matt Murdock by Charlie Cox just to introduce the character, which then will set up Matt Murdock for She-Hulk, which is coming later.
Yeah.
I am so excited. Like, he nailed the role of Daredevil and Matt Murdock. I cannot wait. And you had a theory that it's just a variant of Matt Murdock that never becomes Daredevil.
Well, I didn't have a theory. I read it somewhere that it was going to be Matt Murdock, but he wouldn't be Daredevil. He would just be a blind lawyer, not.
Well, I'm glad that you read it and that it was not your original theory, because that's a dumb theory.
We'll see.
Only because of everything that I personally have read online was that we're just going to get introduced to Matt Murdock, but not actually see him suited up until She-Hulk, because Charlie Cox is also rumored to come back as Matt Murdock and Daredevil in She-Hulk.
Which should be dope.
Oh, I can't fucking wait.
Man.
I can't wait. It's so good.
I don't think we have anything left here. Oh. Careful what you wish for. This goes back to our Mephisto potential theory here, is that in the preview for No Way Home, they don't show him, but you hear Doctor Strange say in a very sinister voice, be careful what you wish for, Parker. And then I didn't imitate the voice very well, but
I don't know who can imitate Benedict Cucumber's voice.
You're an idiot.
Benadryl Kumquat. How do you say his name? I'm just kidding. It's Benedict Cumberbatch. He has a very unique name. If you don't make fun of it, are you even a real fan?
The funny thing, I've always thought the funny thing is that his actual name is Benedict Cumberbatch, but then you're like, Benedict, that's like the craziest fucking name. And then the dude who plays Wong, his name is also Benedict
Wong.
Hilarious.
Like, such a random name, like not common at all, and there's two of them, and they are in the same films together. Yes. But so yeah. So to elaborate on that, who is known in the Marvel universe for granting wishes, Jake?
Oh, Mephisto.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we know that Spider-Man, in the comic book anyways, goes to Mephisto to try to bring Aunt May back to life and make a deal with him. And so who fucking knows?
We also didn't elaborate on that. So in the comics,
we did.
Aunt May dies.
We totally talked about this.
But we didn't talk about the scene from the trailer.
Oh, with the getting up off the couch or whatever?
There's a scene where Peter and Aunt May are sitting on the couch, like watching the news, whatever. There's like police sirens or police lights in the background, and someone clearly like bursts into their apartment, and she stands up very abruptly, like, what's going on? And then it cuts to the next scene.
Yeah.
So like it
could be her
we
getting
might
shot.
see her die.
Yeah.
I hope not.
I hope so.
Well, if she comes back, but then there's like so many more ramifications.
Yeah.
But she's the most accurate Aunt May.
Yeah.
At least
I also read this and hope we see it. That because we haven't got in this Tom Holland Spider-Man films other than like initials on a briefcase. We haven't got anything about Uncle Ben. And I read that I think it was a fan theory, but that it would be that when he sees Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man for the first time, that Peter would say Uncle Ben, like thinking that Tobey was his Uncle Ben, but like actually it was just
that Tobey's Peter Parker was a variant basically of Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
Yes.
That would be cool.
Yeah. You told me about that, and
yeah,
I hope that's what happens.
Yeah. I think it's a fan theory, so I don't, but it was a cool fan theory.
It's a great fan theory.
Yeah.
Because it also elaborates, because we didn't get that origin story, because obviously we've gotten
two versions of it.
Two versions of it already. But yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. It'd be sweet to see like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man save Tom Holland, and then Tom Holland be like, holy shit, another Spider-Man, and then Tobey pulls his mask off and looks at him or something like that, and then Tom Holland be like, Uncle Ben? That would be dope. Yeah.
Because after you told me that, I started looking into it, and it showed the Last Stand version of Peter Parker, where it's basically just a leather jacket that's zipped up and just spray painted with just a separate hood. It'd be really cool if that was the kind of suit that we got for that scene.
It'd be sweet to see a setup for Miles Morales too in this movie,
which we might be getting, because also, sorry to backtrack again, guys, but
on the bridge,
on that bridge scene, there is a Hispanic-looking woman, and for those of you that know, Miles Morales is
Puerto Rican.
He's half Puerto Rican, half African American. His mother is Puerto Rican, and there's a woman that's sitting there, and they make sure that you notice her.
Yeah.
And she's talking, or there's at least some sort of interaction between her and Peter, because he's standing outside of the window down. It looks like they're talking, and then he changes direction.
And we've already got a hint towards Miles in the Homecoming, when Peter webs Donald Glover's hand to the trunk of his car,
and he plays Aaron Davis, who
is the Prowler
uncle,
and he says I don't want these weapons in this neighborhood. I got a nephew who lives here.
Yeah,
his nephew is Miles Morales.
Yeah,
so that would be dope, because I know, as we've talked about, we know that Peter Parker eventually is gonna die, and that Miles Morales would take up the mantle of Spider-Man.
And I don't want it to happen anytime soon, but hinting at it, and then the next time that Peter shows up, maybe actually introduce Miles, and then the next film build.
Yeah.
But my God,
we love you, Tom Holland, but you got to die. So
your character does die, unless you go off of different storylines where he's kind of the mentor to build up Miles until he dies. Instead of he dies and then Miles is oh, I have to step up.
I really want to see Tom Holland's Spider-Man and whoever is going to play Johnny Storm in the Fantastic Four interact, because in the comics they're best friends.
I think we're going to get it, because the Fantastic Four has been confirmed for a reboot of some
Like,
kind.
and it's going to be like the end of this phase, the phase that we're in right now.
Yeah, that's what ends
Fantastic
Phase
Four
4.
is going to be. Yeah.
So it's in development. I don't think they haven't started filming because we haven't heard anything about it, but it is part of Phase 4. So in the next like couple of years.
Yeah.
So stay tuned, listeners. We will hopefully still be here. We will.
But
we love
I think
this
that's
more.
all. I think that's all we got on Spider-Man. We're just gonna give you our spiel and announce our next live stream and leave you to it, kiddos.
So yeah, we do have some closing notes for you guys before we end this episode.
So before we do, we just want to close out our episode by talking about, we have our live stream coming up. We missed it last month. Unfortunately, we were both super busy and there just wasn't enough time to do it.
Yeah, life happens. It's a thing.
Yeah. So the 22nd of September is our next live stream.
Oh,
good time.
It's going to be good. We're going to be doing some giveaways. We're going to be upping our Crybaby Craig's giveaway. Instead of just a single bottle, you're going to get a 3-bottle sample pack. As well as next week, we will have a very special episode with a special guest. We're not going to tell you who he is yet, but he is a comic book artist launching a Kickstarter.
And he also likes to drink whiskey when he makes his videos, so he'll fit right in.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's going to be hopefully not too sloppy so that you guys can understand what we're talking about, but it's going to get good. Yeah. We're very excited about it. On top of that, I mean Shang-Chi comes out this week on Friday the 3rd. So
go see it in theaters. Don't
they're not doing it on Disney Plus.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, don't fucking watch like a
don't wait. Yeah, don't
bootleg bullshit.
Yeah, don't pirate it either. Yeah. Go see it in theaters. It's gonna be great.
I'm gonna see it on Saturday. I'm super excited about it.
I'm gonna see it on Friday.
Well, good for fucking you.
Wow.
I'm gonna block you for a day because you tend to ruin shit for me sometimes.
I haven't done that in like a year. It's been like a year.
But go check out our website. We got cool shit on there. Our merch is all on there. If you have any requests for merch, Chad makes every time I'm like, hey, it'd be a good idea if we did this. Chad's like, oh, I'll just fucking make it. And so
we have a lot of stuff. We'll be adding more stuff as time goes on. Lots of fun. If you guys have like nerdy related design ideas, send it to us. If we like it, we'll turn it into a shirt.
Or even like questions about anything, like, please. We love it. If you want to send us a question and see if you can stump us, like, that'd be cool too.
Yeah. Or if you just want us to dive into something that you think that you have a passion for that is considered nerdy, let us know. We love that stuff. We're still trying to figure out a plausible way to fulfill a fan request to play some Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
Don't know how to do it virtually.
See you, Zach. We're trying.
It'll happen. We have not forgotten. But yeah, so we have all that coming up. Join our Patreon. We have some videos that we're going to be posting there that is just exclusive to our patrons in the next like week or so. So check it out.
You also get stuff for joining Patreon.
Yeah, you get some exclusive merch or exclusive colors for merch. So we have all that going on. But yeah, so join, check that out. And I mean, thank you guys for letting us do what we do, putting up with our drunkenness. And this has been the All Things Nerd Podcast.
Cheers.
Cheers.